Alright. Hello, citizens of the Nigerverse. It is Niger here once again, and welcome back to System Shock Radio. 90 episodes, ladies and gentlemen. 90 episodes. It's crazy to think how far we've come and how far we still have to go. Oh, so if you've been here since day one, thank you. And if this is your first time, thank you and welcome. To everyone, whether you've been here since day one, if this is your first time, or anywhere in between. I love and appreciate each and every one of you so much more than words can describe. Every person who's liked, commented, shared on any of my social medias, any of that, I appreciate all of you. And follow me on my social medias. I have a Facebook, a Instagram, and a Twitter, all at the Nigelverse. I have a Twitch, which is the underscore and Diddy, so go follow me there as well. I'm gonna go live at probably some point within the next few days. I might even go live today. That is, I'm recording this on a Sunday. Whether or not this will actually be up on Sunday, I'm not entirely sure yet. But yeah, so if you haven't already, go follow me on those platforms as well. Oh, on Twitch as well, I should say. But yeah. So without further ado, let's get into what we're talking about for this episode. And because not only is this a special episode, episode 90, every 5 episodes I do a special type of episode, but also because it's Black History Month, I'm gonna talk a little bit about that. About Black History Month, being a black person in America, being a person of color in America, and in the world around me. Um, it's difficult at times. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It is very difficult at times to be a person of color and seeing all the racism and injustice that's happened in the world that I live in and the world that we live in. But it's stuff that we have to talk about. And yeah, normally how we like to have fun here, we like to have a good time, but things like this we have to talk about because it's still an ongoing prevalent issue in the world around us. Sadly, racism is something that uh, has been around for ages. Doesn't seem to be slowing down anytime soon, but it seems like a lot more people are becoming aware of it. The thing about racism is once you're fully aware of what racism is, how it is, and everything, and racist ideas and principles, once you're made aware of those things, what then happens there is on you. As babies, as children, we're not born knowing what racism is, what inequality or injustice is. It's oftentimes we learn that as we get older, whether it's taught to us by our elders or those in charge of us, like parents, grandparents, or whoever, or if we see it in the world. Once we know what racism is, we choose to either continue with those traditions, which hopefully you don't, or we choose to stand against them and say racism has no place. And especially being a black person in America, sadly, um, I'm aware that I'll often get judged or get looked at in a certain way because of the color of my skin, and my children will have that happen to them because of the color of their skin, and it's unfortunate and it's disgusting that that is the world we live in, but it is the world we live in. And there are plenty of people, activists, who actively fight against it. There's the Black Lives Matter movement and things like that to speak up against racial inequality and injustice. There's things being taught in schools such as critical race theory that explore racism, how it works, and how it integrates into society, and how to combat against it. It and we do those types of things not just to raise awareness, but to make a change. And the strides that have been made in the fight for racial equality in the past have been in grand ones, but the fight is not over yet. It's almost a never-ending fight, unfortunately, and the fact that it is never-ending is very disappointing. But it is a never-ending fight. Uh, activists like Dr. Martin Luther King or Malcolm X, their constant fight against racial injustice and racial inequality are not forgotten. We do not forget it, but it's a shame that several years later, decades later, and we're still fighting the fight against racism and racial inequality and racial injustices, is especially when it comes to the police force. Or it seems like almost every time I turn on the news or go on social media to see the news, who someone else has been killed due to a racially motivated attack by police or by someone else. It seems like almost every time I turn around, there's a new case of a racially motivated attack, and it gets weary to see. Seeing it almost all the time is very disheartening, and it makes you upset. Obviously, it makes you angry that this is going on because of the color of their skin, and but at the same time, you also, oh, for me, it's almost a numbing feeling because it's something that seems to be happening so often, and 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 knowing that there's families who have lost their loved ones and who no longer have their brother, sister, mother, father, son, or daughter, or because of a racially motivated attack, like is heartbreaking, and my heart breaks is for the people who have uh, been killed because of the color of their skin, who have been attacked because of the color of their skin, and one of my fears is that will either happen to me or happen to someone that I love, of that I'm close to, whether it's a friend or family member, or or um, that is one thing that I always have to keep an eye on, and it's one thing I've been made aware of pretty much my entire life. My parents always taught me that because of the color of my skin, because of my racial identity, I have to fight twice as hard to be successful in life. I have to study, I have to be successful, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. To show the world that the color of my skin doesn't matter, but my ability does, and what I can do and what I can contribute to society, he does. And and I shouldn't say, hey, my skin doesn't matter, because ultimately it does. Us The fact that black people can succeed is something that is an inspiration for a lot of people. We are people of endurance. We are people who have have endured so much injustice, so much that so much going on that um, has happened because of the color of our skin, but we persevere anyway, and we're still here, and we're still fighting for equality and everything. The fact that these things have happened, but we're still in the fight, and we're not giving up or giving in, and is inspirational for not just myself, but for a lot of people. Well, and the reason that we fight is to hopefully see a day where the color of our skin will just be the color of our skin, but we will get ahead in life and get far in life due to who are due to our hard work and our dedication, and seeing us for not who we are, not what color we are, but what we can do. Dr. Martin Luther King, in his speech each on the March on Washington, the famous "I Have a Dream" speech, saying he dreams of a day where his children will grow up in a world where they are not judged by the color of the skin, but by the content of their character. And that's the world I want, is a world where we can only be judged by the content of our character, not the color of our skin or who our parents were born to. Um, I'm hopeful of a world like that. Will a world like that come? I'm not entirely sure. Or I wish I knew, but I don't know for sure. And I don't know for sure if it'll come during my lifetime. But I am hopeful that one day a world like that that will exist. It's not going to be easy because it never is when it comes to racism. Being discriminated it just by the color of skin, and it takes a lot of work. Or honestly, it takes a lot of work and effort to be racist, to try to have to physically like hold people down, or try having to go through all these hoops and hurdles and loops and stuff to keep people down just because of the color of their skin. That's ridiculous. Is when you think about it. Hey, you're going through so much, doing all this work, going through all this effort, or trying to stack these things oh so high just to keep a person down just because they're black. That that's insane. And to think about, when you really think about it, racism is incredibly dumb. Like you're gonna go through really all that effort, or just to keep me down, just for me, just to keep me from succeeding in life. That's wow. Oh, and good luck wasting your life away being a racist person. And because that's oftentimes what racist people do, they waste their life being racist, and they've lived out their whole life. They're old and gray, having spent their entire life hating a group of people just because of the color of their skin. But sadly, that's the world we live in. But we're going to continue to succeed, to overcome, to flourish. His not necessarily just because we want to. Obviously, we want to, but because we have to. Because we have to show the world that black people can be successful, and that we can be excellent. We can and strive for excellence, even in the face of injustice. But that's going to do it for this episode of System Shock Radio. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do me a favor. Like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends. Turn on post notifications so you know every time I upload a video, so you can see as soon as it drops. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts on everything I talked about in this video. And I will see you guys later. Peace.